Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a card using the Love from Lizi December 2023 card kit, and it's called Making Memories. I'm going to have links down in the description. They'll be to Lizi's website where you can get the subscription for this, where you can buy other crafty products, and some of those I'll be using in my video. There's links also to the other design team members, and it'll bring you to their videos so you can be inspired if you're using this kit or for just making some really nice cards with what you have in your stash. You can share your card on either my Facebook group page, which is called Your Cards and Crafts, or Lizi's Facebook group as well. So that's it. I'm going to carry on now and we'll have a look at the card we're going to make today. So for today's card, I wanted to make a 6x6 card, but I don't have any 12x12 white sheets left. I'm waiting for a delivery from Craft Stash. So I thought what I'd do is I'd kind of cheat a little bit. And this is really handy for anyone who wants to make a 12x12 card but doesn't have 12x12 sheets. I have a standard A4 size piece of cardstock, and so what I like to do is I like to take this piece and cut it down. So I know American cardstock is a different size, so this one measures, it's 11 3/4 by 8 1/4, just a little, I think it's a tad over 8 1/4. So what I do is I cut it down on the short side to 6 inches, and that gives me a piece then that is 11 3/4 inches long. What I do then is I score this down the middle, which is at 5 7/8. Now it can be just a little bit over, but at 5 7/8 I'll score that through the middle, and then I'll fold that in half. So that'll give me a 6x6, just shy a little bit. It's 5 7/8 by 6 inches long card base. So it's cheating a little bit. For all intents and purposes, it looks like a 6x6 inch card base, but it's not. It's a little bit short. So that's what I do when I don't have a 6x6 card base. So I'm going to give you the measurements for what I'm going to use on this card base going by this card size. So it's not 6x6, it's 5 7/8 by 6 inches. So the mats and layers will all work in accordance with that. So I hope that helps. A lot of people do kind of, well, not a lot. I've had a few messages from people saying, I don't have 12x12 sheets, you know, how can I make a 6x6? And I don't make your 6x6 cards because I don't have a 12x12 sheet, etc. Or you get the card bases, and if you buy a 6x6 pack of cards and envelopes, you'll find that your card bases are generally 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and that your envelopes are 6x6. So yeah. Okay, so I have my card base here. On top of that, I want to put some holographic paper, and this one, it's very 60s. I absolutely love it. So this piece measures 5 5/8 by 5 3/4. So we have a nice little border going the whole way along. And then I have a purple piece of cardstock, and this piece measures 5 3/8 by 5 1/2. And then I've taken this piece of patterned paper, and this piece measures 10 by 5 1/2, and we want to put some score lines into that. So I'm going to get my scoreboard just to make it a little bit easier for you to see. So now on my scoreboard, we want to, where's my little scoring tool? This one. We're going to do some score lines. So this is going to put a pleated fold on the front, and I know this has been done before. I think this is an old one, but I came across it in a YouTube video, and I loved the look of it. Actually, I saw it on Pinterest and then went to YouTube and scrolled through until I found what it was and how it was done. So this is my version for a 6x6 or 5 7/8 by 6 card base. Okay, so on the long side, which is 10 inches, we want to score at 1 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3 inches, then at 4 inches, 4.5, at 5.5, at 6, at 7, at 7.5, at 8.5, and at 9. Then what we want to do is put a couple of marks on it. Now I'm going to flip over my page just so that you can see where I'm putting my marks, just to make it easier for you. So at 4.5 and 5.5, I'm going to put little pencil marks, and I'm going to do that at the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to rotate it around, and at 2 inches and 3 inches, I'm going to put a little mark, and the same down at the bottom at 2 inches and 3 inches. And so we have a couple of marks on there. We're going to do some folding and cutting. We're actually going to do some cutting and folding on that, but I'll get to that in a minute once I get through everything else that I'm going to be using. So that's our card base, our mats and layers, our lovely pattern paper for our pleated folds. Then I have 2 more pieces of cardstock. My holographic card here measures 5 3/8 by 1.5, and then my purple cardstock, and this purple cardstock is from the kit. This measures 5 1/8 by 1 1/4, and it's going to sit in there like that. This is going to sit across our pleats, and then onto that we got this piece in the kit. It comes like that, and there's a score line on it, so you can have it as like a little placemat or something. I've cut it in half, and I'm going to use one of these across the middle like so. I'll put a little sentiment there using the stamps that we got, but I'm not quite sure which one I want to use, so I've kept the 2 of them, and I'll decide that later on. So they're all our pieces and parts. We'll put a stamp sentiment inside, and what I'll do is I'll embellish the inside of my card as well. I'll either use some of the ephemera, which is very similar to the pattern paper, around my sentiment, or I might use the stickers. Sure, we'll get to that part when we get to that part. So first off, I want to take this piece, our pleated piece, and we're going to do some cutting on that. Now, again, I'm folding this over so you'll see my marks. You could take a long scissors and cut. I'm going to use a trimmer only because I prefer to use a trimmer. I'll get a straighter cut. So you can use a trimmer like this, or you can use a guillotine style trimmer, whichever you like. So on the long side, we have a mark, 2 marks here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on this one, which is our 5.5 inch mark. I'm going to pop that into my track, and I'm going to line it up with one of our 2 marks here. So we had a mark here at 2 and a mark at 3. I'm lining it up at my 3 inch mark. So I'll put that in my track and that in my track. And then I can go ahead and cut that. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to line up my little pencil mark here and my other pencil mark down here. And I'm going to go ahead then and I'm going to cut that as well. So that's 2 pieces off. Now I'm going to do what I've done here, but on the left hand side. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to line up my pencil mark here with my pencil mark on the short side. There and there. And once I'm happy with that, then I can cut that. And then I'm going to do the other side, lining up with my pencil mark here and here. And I'm going to cut them as well. There we go. So we have our 4 little pieces that we have cut off this piece here. So now we want to do some folds. So what we want to do is, with these 2 marks here at 4.5 and 5.5, we're going to make those into valley folds. So I'm folding over on the 4.5 mark, and then I'm going to fold back on the next one. So it's a concertina fold that we're doing on each of them. So fold one over, and then fold one back, and fold one over, and we should be left with this one up here like so. And I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to fold this into a valley, then a mountain, then into a valley, then into a mountain, and a valley, and then finally a mountain. So these are our folds that we'll have, and this will go on the front of our card. So we can pop this on like so. So now what I want to do is I want to take my card base and my mats and layers and glue them into place, and then do some stamping. So I'm going to do that next. So this is the stamp set that we got in our kit, and it's absolutely fabulous. I love the little sub-sentiments here that are available, but for on my card I want to use one of these, and this stamp set is also available on the Love from Lizi website. It's a great stash builder. It came out in January 2022, and don't forget there's links to the products I'm using down below. So I want to use this thank you here, and then I'm going to put very much. So I'm going to put my thank you across here, and then the very much under the lines here, and then I can pop that onto my banner that I have going to go across my pleated folds. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do next. So I'm putting down a piece of acetate because I want to make sure that my stamped sentiment is going to be straight. So this is a little trick I learned from Jennifer Maguire. So if you put that down, I can see that my sentiment is a little bit raised up too much. So I need to move that a little bit. So let's have a look now and try that again. And there we go. You can see that's nice and straight. Now I can remove my acetate and I can clean that off. And then that's handy and ready to go again the next time I want to stamp. So if you're ever stamping something and you're not sure if it's straight, use a piece of acetate, stamp on that, and that way then you can see whether your stamped sentiment is straight or crooked. So now I'm happy with that. I can go ahead and ink that up and stamp it down. Lovely. And I'm just going to take a fine liner and I'm going to put an exclamation mark at the end of that. Thank you very much. I like that now. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and tidy up, and we'll do some assembly next. Now for this part, you can either flatten them in like so and lay them down. So you can add a little bit of glue on the back here and here, and then do the same here and along here and along here. You can stick them down, have them like that, and then put your panel over the top so it'll sit like so, if you like. But I like dimension on a card, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have these so that they're set into place like that, and then my panel will sit on top of it like so. So I've got my glue gun ready now. I'm going to add a little bit to the back here, and then I'm going to sit that down so it's just there on my pattern, on my mat layer, and I'm going to do the same here as well. And then I'm going to sit this down on top like so. And to do that, I'm just going to add a little bit of my hot glue to the top along here and here and here and here. It won't take much, it's just enough to anchor it. And then I can sit that down over the top. Now I like dimension, as I said, so I like having this dimension on the front of my card. I'm going to make a box envelope to put this into. So I'm really pleased with that. You could just glue them all flat down, as I said before, but I like the dimension on mine. So now I want to embellish these corners. We got lovely little sticker sheets, 2 sticker sheets, and I think I will use these stickers here. Let's see if they will fit. I think they will if I'm clever with it. They might fit underneath, just like that. I'm going to put another one on the other side. I'm going to pull in some of the little rose gems that we got, and I think I'll add a couple of those here. And these are sticky backed, but I'm just going to add a little drop of hot glue to be sure that they're going to stick down. And I think I shall put one there. And then inside my card, I'm just going to embellish it with, again, some more of the stickers. And I think what I'll do is pop this one on the inside here like so. And you could always put a sentiment inside if you liked, but I like the idea of leaving this blank. It gives me lots of room. I can actually start on this side and write, you know, a message depending on the length. If it's just a thank you very much, well then fair enough. But if I want to have it so that I've got plenty of room, I will have there. So I have one of my boxes here for a 6x6 card. They're an inch deep, and I just wanted to show you that this card with the bit of bulk will sit perfectly inside this box. There's even a little bit of room in there. So these boxes are on my channel. I'll link them down below if you want to make a little box. It'll be lovely for handing to someone. You could put this then in a puffy envelope if you wanted to post it, or you could hand it to someone. We could embellish it using some of our fussy cut ephemera or some of our stickers on that and pop it into the box. So I just wanted you to see that you can make a box for it, and I have these boxes on my channel. So now that's it. I hope you've enjoyed my video for today. If you have, you might give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, please, if you're not a subscriber, and ding the bell. That way you'll be notified the next time I post a new video. There's links down below to the design team members, as well as to my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts, Lizzie's Facebook group too, and all the products that I've used that are available. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there until the next one, folks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.